The majority of mines nowadays, fortunately, do collect a high level of data. Unfortunately, only a small percent of this data seems to get used to its full capacity. And however, when we do use this data correctly, the data will provide value-adding input into decisions and workflow based on mine sites. How do we get the most out of the data, and how can this inform business decisions moving forward? One of the important things to consider here is that not only is the actual data collection and the data processing important, but the way in which we convey this information through to operations, tech services, and management is also equally as important. We can collect all the data that we want, but unless we can effectively convey that information, it's not going to get us very far, and it's not going to help us convey the message we want to get across there. So we're looking at the as-built development versus a design profile. And as part of that reporting process, also issuing, like we did before, a 3D image so that the viewers can sit there and say, right, the geotechs have sat down and said we have 20% overbreak. This was quite well received. And the fact that people could actually get their head around when we say, right, we have 12.5% volumetric overbreak, what does that physically look like? You know, people can begin to gauge and see in their minds what overbreak looks like. Obviously, when we're looking at long-term trends here, we'd overlay this with various lithology or structural intersections. So if we're beginning to see large areas of overbreak, can we also tie this into a change in lithology, large-scale fault or shear zone coming through, or has there been a change to the drill and blast practices? Just bringing people on board and bringing people along for that journey, I suppose, goes a long way to getting the changes needed or getting the changes implemented that you need.